Good morning, everybody. This is Luke Kenobi, and today we just got an article that came out yesterday, and it's titled African Samurai Author Thomas Lockley Lies About Collaborating with Ubisoft on Assassin's Creed Shadows Amid Yasuke Controversy. So, this is the guy right here who wrote the book about a Yusuke, being somewhat of a samurai and all, but let's read this article and see what we think. All right. Thomas Lockley, the author of African Samurai, the true story of Yasuke, the legendary black warrior in feudal Japan, lied about collaborating with Ubisoft and on Assassin's Creed Shadows amid the ongoing controversy surrounding the character of Yasuke. In an interview of the Lance E podcast on Tokyo on the YouTube, Lockley stated, "I don't know whether the game Assassin's Creed should have him as the main character or should have somebody else as main character. Quite frankly, I don't care." So, let's watch this video so we can hear in his own words what he said. But right now, let's see here. There's other stuff that he said. So let me read this part here and then we'll keep going. Lee then asks him, "But you have nothing to do with it anyway," Lockley replies. "Nothing to do with it." Lee then asks, "You see no royalties or anything?" No, it was nothing to do, though my book is starting to sell well again, which is nice. That's nice. He then added, "But don't attack Yasuke as a man. Let's remember this man for he was and the great things he did." So let's look at this video.
The credit they deserve. I don't know whether the game Assassin's Creed should have him as the main character or it should have somebody else as main character. Quite frankly, I don't care.
But you have nothing to do with it.
Nothing to do with it.
You see no royalties.
Don't attack Yasuke. No, it's nothing to do. Though my book's starting to sell well again, which is
that's
nice.
Good.
Yeah, that's
good.
nice.
So you can get some background on it.
Yeah, but don't attack Yasuke as a man. Let's remember this man for who he was and the great things that he did.
Thomas, I think that we're getting closer to that now because we have access to more information and we get it much quicker now, and it can vibrate much louder now than it ever could before. So this person, which is probably the same person that wrote 5 or 6 times under different aliases.
You might be right.
This one person can actually look up through Google and so many other sources and find out, wow, some similarities between him and or her and this person, which we all have. We're talking about us, human beings. So I don't think it's anything to really put any more time and effort in. Do you have anything outside of A Gentleman from Japan that's coming up now that you've completed that book and it's starting to get some traction?
It's getting some traction, and I'm going to dedicate the next few months to keeping that traction going. Once you've got traction on a book, it tends to start going on its own. You've got to get that traction, and nobody else is going to do that for you.
But that means you have to go out and give talks about the book. And
correct.
That's the biggest thing. So where do you go to give these talks? Do you stand on the corner in Shibuya or something?
Yeah, that's it.
With the microphone
that's it. And the end is nigh. Right. Come and read my book. No.
Do you actually go?
I don't know. It's just so. So let's see. On Facebook, the account he also wrote, "Thank you for your support over the years. Due to the hate mail connected with Assassin's Creed game, with which I have nothing to do and had no intention of playing, but many people seem to think I am responsible for. I will be freezing this account. I hope not forever, but who knows." However, Lockley did indeed collaborate with Ubisoft for an episode of their Echoes of History podcast titled Yasuke, the First African Samurai Podcast. The description of the episode states, "Yasuke is one of the most captivating and yet mysterious figures within Japanese history. In 1581, at the height of the Civil War, he crossed paths with this country's most powerful warlord Oda Nobunaga. Their meeting bound the two men together and set Yasuke on a path to becoming the first known samurai of African Delving into the history behind one of the two main characters in the latest Assassin's Creed game, Matt Lewis and Thomas Lockley examined the few surviving historical sources to review what we know about Yasuke, Japan at first African samurai, it adds. The description concludes with making it clear it's produced by Ubisoft. Echoes of History is a Ubisoft podcast brought to you by History is Hit. Whatever, man. No way. Podcast host Matt Lewis also introduces the episode saying, in case you haven't had the chance to see it yet, the world premiere trailer for Assassin's Creed Shadows was released and you can see it takes place in feudal Japan. This is a time famous for samurai and ninjas, and an era rich in history, culture, and stories. For the next few episodes in the series, we'll be exploring this fascinating period in history. So far, we've traveled back in time to the Sengoku period, sowed the seeds of the unification of Japan, and culture collided with the arrival of Portuguese missionaries on Japanese shores. He continued, today we're tracing the story of a key figure in this era of upheaval. Japan's first black samurai, Yasuke, is one of the main two characters in Assassin's Creed Shadows. You'll get to see the world of feudal Japan through the eyes of the legendary African samurai. But how and when did Yasuke end up in Japan? What was his journey to becoming Japan's first black samurai? And what can his story tell us about the life in Sengoku Empire, Japan? To find out more about this notorious and yet mysterious figure from Japanese history, I'm joined by Thomas Lockley, Associate Professor at Nihon University in Tokyo, and the author of African Samurai, The True Story of Yasuke. Clearly, Logan indeed collaborate with Ubisoft for Assassin's Creed Shadows that had something to do with the game. Of course. I mean, it's right there. I mean, I don't understand why people just lie their way out of it. Now, Loki is lying about collaborating with Ubisoft, but it appears to be a pattern of behavior as noted by Japanese tutor Naoto, who has done significant research into Loki's claims regarding Yasuke and how it influenced Assassin's Creed Shadows. Following an exhaustive breakdown of an interview Lockley gave that with the Japan Times regarding Yasuke, Naoto concludes, I used to think he was just a presumptuous, speculative researcher. However, what I understand from his interview in the Japan Times is that he is deliberately lying. He who distorts history for his political beliefs is not qualified to be a historian. Naoto added, without his book, the latest Assassin's Creed would have featured a Japanese ninja as the protagonist. Even if Yasuke could act as a mediator between the Jesuits and Nobunaga, that was not a role significant enough to make him the protagonist. At most, he would have been an NPC. Once again, I strongly feel that his research has changed the content of the game set in Japan and Japanese history. Lockley also previously claimed that his book was fact-checked by Sekuhin Kirino. However, Kirino noted this was not the case. Kirino posted on X, regarding the Japanese edition of Nobunaga and Yasuke by Thomas Lockley, published by Ota Publishing in 2017, translator Yoshiko Fuji asked me to read through it and provide my thoughts. I gave few comments, but it was nothing as grand as a fact-checked. In fact, Naoto also notes that Lockley's original intention for his book, African Samurai, The True Story of Sasuke, a legendary black warrior in feudal Japan, was to craft a novel, not an academic or historical document. In an interview with News Digest, Lockley was asked why he was interested in Yasuke. As translated by Naoto, Lockley answered, around 2009-2010, I accidentally came across a link about Yasuke online. As soon as I clicked it, I was fascinated by this real-life figure. It was so romantic, adventurous, war-filled, passionate, and agonizing that it felt like fiction. I couldn't forget about him. And about a year later, I started writing a novel about Yasuke for my own enjoyment. I paused to prioritize daily life like work and family, but resumed writing in 2015. shifting towards an academic approach to pursue the truth. It does not appear that Lockley pursued truth at all, given the claim that Yasuke was the samurai is heavily disputed. Professor Mihio Oka, the editor of Connecting World History 2, commented on X, even among Japanese researchers, there are various theories on the definition of samurai, making it difficult to answer. The use of samurai overseas is even more different since no one before Professor Lockley had shown academic interest in Yasuke. There would be no researchers who have strictly defined samurai in the Sengoku period and positioned Yasuke as samurai. This is the thing, bro. I mean, it's out there that he has lied, obviously, about Yasuke, and he's lied about and he's lied here in this interview that the fact that he was involved with the Assassin's Creed game. I don't understand people like this. Why would you lie? Why lie? Face the truth, man. You know, it's just so funny. It's so funny that how people think they know their history. People know the truth and everything. They tell their truth, but somehow all this comes out and it's just nothing but a lie. So why should people believe this guy? Why should people believe that he is true to his word on Yasuke and true to his word on his history? Because, I mean, I have looked around, and I have not seen no history of him being a samurai. Only as a retainer. That's all I saw. So, and he calls himself a damn professor? That's hard to believe. Well, hey, if you guys, like I said before, if you guys feel that this guy, if he's telling the truth, that Yasuke was a samurai, please, by all means, find proof that he was. And give me the link, and I'll look it up. If not, why should I believe him? Why should I believe this guy? Anyways, if you guys like the video, hit the like button, share this video, post a comment below. Let me know what your thoughts about this article, and what do you believe? So, and if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button for me. All right, you guys. Catch you guys later. Bye for now.